Okay, this is Mike Ciccone again for 9 p.m. February 25th, 2017, Saturday at the trailhead of the Harmony Trail, also known as the future extension of the Rachel Carson Trail, here at the intersection of Route 910 where it crosses Wexford Run Creek between Route 19 and Interstate 79, much closer to Route 19. So the trail begins as a paved gravel stone trail here. You can see Wexford Run is not very big here, kind of in the headwaters of the Pine Creek watershed. So these creeks in this part of northwest Allegheny County all flow through Pine Creek, which is a fairly big creek that across or enters the Allegheny River down at Etna, PA. About 3 to 5, maybe 5 miles northeast of Pittsburgh. Right now we're about 15 miles due north of the city of Pittsburgh. Pine Township. Sunset's around 6 o'clock, so we should have 2 hours of daylight, hopefully get one direction. It's about 42 degrees. The temperature is dropping rapidly. We just had probably the second warmest day ever recorded in February for this area. Yesterday it hit 76 degrees. The all-time record ever for the whole month of February is 77. I'm much happier that it's a little bit closer to winter. Still not cold enough to really be winter, but 40s are getting better. So you got some side trails over here that I've actually never been on. But keep consistent. We'll just focus on this trail. Got an intensely meandering creek here. More Wexford Run Creek. This whole trail both ways, I think you end up hiking 10 miles. I think it might be 5 or 6 miles one way. And right now we're going pretty much straight south. This trail is maintained by the Rachel Carson Trails Conservancy. There may or may not be some other groups involved, but I know that's the one I tend to hear about a lot. trail's going to go is up toward those buildings up there, which is near Route 19, Erie Highway. So it crosses right here. To the left, we're going to go across the creek. Okay, I'm back. Now we're going to cross the creek. The little quiet interlude that you saw was a little over a minute. Eventually, I think there will be a bridge there. What I like to do is explore trails when they're proposed or haven't been completely built yet. See how they come into existence. Steep hill, very muddy, watch your footing. And you really have to know where the trail really is here, so it turns left. Not really marked yet. This does connect to the infamous portion of the Rachel Carson Trail that turns into the Rachel Carson Challenge, which is known as one of the harder hiking races here in western Pennsylvania. Pretty much fills up every year. It's been going on since the 1990s. I've done it about 10 times. I'm told that this section won't be included in that event anytime soon, at least, because the parking isn't adequate here. This camo tent's been here for a few weeks. So now we got some pink flagging at least. Okay, so now we get to this road and we turn left. 5500. This might be Brook Tree Drive. Not sure completely. trees. Honestly, what I think they should do is have a Rachel Carson Trail Ultra Marathon. Just let a lot less people in and go from this side to the original eastern terminus, which would be like 40 some miles. Maybe someday, if I get time, I can help figure that out. But that would totally make sense. So we're coming out kind of in the main part of Wexford, an area known as the Wexford Flats, close to 1,300 foot elevation above sea level, about 400 meters. We're going to cross Route 19 ferry. This is the most dangerous crossing of a road that this trail makes, so be careful here, push the walk back. Now the hard part's over. Starting to go down a little bit. I think that might just be called Wexford Plaza. It's kind of stereotypical suburbia around here. Then we'll get back into a little bit more woodsy area. This trail is in the low Pittsburgh Plateau region. It's an area that occupies most of southwest Pennsylvania. It was carved out by rivers and streams, much in the way that the Grand Canyon was carved out, and it forms a lot of smaller hills. We're not quite into the Appalachian Mountains, but we're in the hills. Then about 50 miles east of here, then you start to get into the actual mountains that were folded and thrusted. All of the the bedrock is sandstone, shale, coal, limestone, clays, all sedimentary rocks. The soil on the trail here, at least in west central Pennsylvania, tends to be more silty. It won't get your feet quite as muddy if you're a little further south, like say in Waynesburg or Morgantown, West Virginia. You'll get big clumps of mud on your feet. Really have to hose your shoes off. It's not too bad here. Silty with a little bit of sand. So now we're getting back into a more woodsy section of trail. It's an area where I could get a little goofed up, but I think I keep going straight. I did a much shorter version of this a few weeks ago when they had the annual winter hike on this trail. I don't want to record people's voices or make people uncomfortable, so I just did a little bit to get the highlights then. That's more about the event. This will be everything related to the trail. You can see the leaves are actually coming in on some of the smaller shrubs. Probably a month, maybe 5 or 6 weeks early even. It's pretty much been the year without a winter. We've had maybe 1 or 2 weeks of typical winter weather, not all at the same time. For the most part, it's been averaging 10 to 20 degrees above normal. In some cases, like yesterday, 30 degrees or more. Very strange. I'm looking forward to another winter that's like the polar vortex winters we had several years ago, which really weren't that unusual. They were just typical late 1970s, early 1980s winters that we haven't had in 40 years, and we got 2 of them, and now it's back to climate change. I'm just hoping the summer isn't ridiculously hot. Now, if you do the group hiking event, it happens about the first Saturday every February, or maybe it's a Sunday. I think it's a Sunday. It's about twice as slow as this. Since I'm going twice as far, I have to go back. I'm going twice as fast. Some very upper expensive houses back there. A lot of money around here. Sometimes they even call it Yuppieville. Unfortunately, I'm not one of the yuppies that lives in Yuppieville. Yeah, we are supposed to get some snow at some point. Maybe before I'm done hiking. I think I see some snow. Oh my goodness, there's snow. Oh, we haven't had snow in a few weeks. Yes, there's snow. I love snow. Oh. Last year we got snow in the middle of May. This may be the last we get this year. Hopefully we'll get some more. We're in the North Park, which is in Allegheny County Park. The largest county park, about 2,500 acres. mallard ducks, muskrats. I've seen some coyotes. A lot of wildlife takes shelter in here. Okay, so basically, this is not right, so I'm going to turn around and try the other way, because the trail is not fully marked yet. You can see some of those umbrella trees, weeping willows. Okay, so when you get to this point, what I'm doing would be, if you were coming from the other way, it would be left. It's noisy snow. Geese back there and a nice pond. Field. No, we have an old sign. It says Bluebird Trail, extension of Harmony Trail, 1 block ahead. So we're going to go 1 block ahead. This will soon be part of the future Rachel Carson Trail. It'll probably use some corridors from existing trails. It's easy to get sidetracked on deer trails. They tend to make their own trails, so you'll see a lot of those. Generally, the trails might be a little more marked, a little better marked here now that we're actually in the North Park. Rachel Carson Trail goes in and out of several different parks, the westernmost of which is North Park. So we are now at the Bluebird Trail. Robert Hartman, Eagle Scout, Troop Project, 36, July 2001. Thanks, Robert. So now we'll continue through the mud. Remember, keep your dogs on a leash and be sure to clean up after them. Okay. So in the past, this field has been filled with weeds about 5 or 6 feet high. Looks like it's been mowed down. I'm not sure if those weeds regenerate every year or if they just did a major chop down. That's right, so I'm going to go here, because I know where I need to end up. There's a trail that goes back into the woods here, and we'll go down this hill. So that looks like a deer trail. Nice little tree. It's a pink bluebird box. Okay, so now I'm taking a left. I cross the field, head back down into the woods. Very quickly you'll come to a signpost. I think it's talking about robins or something, which I'm actually seeing. Usually about this time of the year we start seeing them coming back. They're looking for worms. Another sign here. Signs are very old. So this yellow one says number 29, Latotomy Nature Center. So we're now getting into some special trails. Actually, when we got on the Bluebird Trail, we were on them, but they're for the Latotomy Nature Center. They lead to the Latotomy Nature Center, which is an old barn. It's probably been around since at least 1970, if not earlier. Back in the 80s, we used to go in the summer, and they'd have a little half-day nature program when I was like 8 years old. Take you on these different trails back here and show you different things. As far as I know, the lady that was a naturalist back in 1988 is still there. I'm not sure if they do that program anymore. Just going down this valley. This bridge. Another bridge. It's already starting to get kind of dark. Snow clouds are always darker than rain clouds. And yes, everything that you see in this video really is kind of black and white and brown and sepia toned. No color yet, or at least very little. This place will be full of color in another month or two. some trees that are about 2-foot diameter trunks, maybe a little wider, probably 100 years old or a little more. I'm just going down a slow descent, probably about a 2% grade. Just above a creek. That would be one of the other creeks that feeds into Pine Creek as part of the headwaters of the Pine Creek watershed. A very runnable, hikeable section, not a lot of roots or anything. Now I'm going up a little. So here, we're going to make a right because we want to get down into the valley. It's one of those deals where you just kind of have to know until the trail gets fully marked as the Rachel Carson Trail. Little white arrow there. I think there's a squirrel or a bunny rabbit icon. Going back up. And I guess we could have taken the other trail. Or I may have actually taken the wrong trail because we shouldn't be going this far. So I'm going to turn back. It's easy to goof up. So here, this arrow over your right, keep going down. You want to go down, down, down from the time you leave the field. If the trail goes up for more than 50 feet or whatever, and you're going up a big steep hill, it's probably wrong. Look for trails going down into the creek valley. This area is a poor drainage area. Could be some mud and leaves and slippery areas. Eventually what you'll come to, so you'll know you're on the right track, is a deer exclusion area. Due to the incredible white-tailed deer population, there's just tons and tons of them here. They want to protect some of the herbaceous species and young trees, so they'll put fences around them and try to keep them off of different sections of the trails. I'm not sure if they're trying to exclude them from this side or the side I'm on now, but I'm going to go through here. I mean, theoretically, I guess that could be a wheelchair exclusion area, so there might be some issues with that, but it keeps the deer out. On the other hand, this trail is super ADA, advanced for its time. This trail was built probably in the 70s or the early 80s as a rail trail for blind people to hike on. And so, a lot of times people will sit here and says, close your eyes, listen to the sounds of the forest. One of the guys that likes to lead meetups around here, he's very popular. He always calls it a Zen moment. He's like, close your eyes and have a Zen moment and just listen to the sounds of nature. Different plant species you might see around here. Thanks, Joseph Manio, Troop 150, 2009. For sure, you want to be careful with this one, poison ivy. Got a nasty rash. Some skunk cabbage, Indian cucumber, jack in the pulpit. So there's a trail that goes up there. I guess that is, yeah, the rail trail is this one. I think they must have extended it. So the idea for when they built this trail was that the blind could hold on to this here. And at one point at least, I don't know if there still is, they had markers that were actually in Braille so that they could read the writing. It's about a quarter-mile trail. It may be a little longer now. It's got numbered plaques around it. There's number 7. There's a little bridge coming in down there. 14. Let's take a look here. So if we were to come down here, yeah, the water cycle. These signs are a little newer. The really old signs were the ones that were in Braille. Oh. No, even that's not in Braille. I don't know. Maybe people are using cell phones now to get, sound recordings. Maybe that's how they're modernizing. But I kind of remember the Braille where they touch it and feel the words. Another deer exclusion area. Also known as deer exclosure fences. Kind of appears to me that they've actually sort of lost the original spirit of what this trail, how it was originally built, because I'm not seeing the Braille. Now I'm going up, fairly steep hill. This is a little tricky here, because where we want to end up is basically down that way. I'm just gonna see. I'll stay on this one for now and see where I end up. See lots of tracks from the mountain bikes. Wild grapevines. State tree, the hemlock tree, right there. Some of this is probably 30% grade. Pretty steep. You can see fall happens twice. Once in October, when most of the trees lose their leaves, and then again in February or March, just before the oak trees lose their leaves. Oak trees like to hang on to their dead leaves all winter and then lose them in the spring. Or in this case, late winter. Alright. I think right about here, across the road. Now we have a red rectangle and a white triangle. Tried to make the trail less muddy there, but it didn't work. Sometimes the best way to convey the spirit of the pine forest is to turn the camera on its side. So that looks almost like I just went around in a big circle. Okay, it's time to change the battery. That was the end of the day. little, used to pick blackberries up there. Water tank. Sometimes as you travel through the forest, you'll see remnants of an earlier time. Old park pavilions that have been abandoned from the 30s and 40s, or maybe even a little after that. It's the 1930s and 1940s, that is. Okay, we're on a red and green trail. It's a bridge. Going up. This one cuts across. lot. But really, it's red with blued up. Here we come on one of the old art pavilions. There used to be more of these, but as time goes by, the roofs just kind of cave in and they sort of fall apart. Sometimes you'll come here and over the course of 5 or 10 years, you'll just kind of see that one was up, but then there'll just be nothing left but some sticks. So this one's got a metal roof, so I imagine it'll be around a while. Sticks look good and sturdy. So this is the inside. As you can see, it's really dark even with a +2 exposure compensation. Here's what the roof looks like from the inside. I'm at 3200 ISO, which would make everything look all washed out.